This'll be good practice.
Watch me.
I got this.
Okay.
You wanna fight? Take this.
Eyes on me.
I have secrets too.
Go.
What?
You're in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
You're in
underestimate
it
me.
now.
Bring it on.
You sure you can beat me?
I got this.
You're in for it now.
I wouldn't
Fun
underestimate
with
me.
this. That's better. 決めるぜ。これだ。You're in it now. You wanna fight? Cool.
決め
るぜ。行くぞ。Weak. Let's kill it. Well.
I wouldn't underestimate me.
Don't move.
Why me? Feeling better already.
Okay.
It's showtime.
これだ。あっけ。調子が乗ってたぜ。
This is bad. Feeling better already.
Yeah.
Well.
Strong. Hey, hold on, Ichiban. What's all this about going to Osaka?
Turns out Arakawa-san needs some help. My help. Mitsu just called me and said Arakawa-san's already on his way to Sotenbori.
But why Osaka?
I don't know. I didn't bother to ask.
You realize Sotenbori is where the Omi Alliance is headquartered. You'll be screwed if your cover gets blown. Think about that, would you?
All I need to think about is that Arakawa-san said he needs me. He's going to Osaka, so I'm going to Osaka. I don't care what anyone says about it.
He gets like this, Tadachi-san.
Then there's no point stopping him, is there? Loyalty is admirable, but jeez.
Ichiban, what about Ijincho? The election's coming up. We helped you make all that money to fight Ryo Aoki. Now you're just gonna leave us hanging?
Not at all. We got the 3 million yen we needed. And I'm gonna go give it to the Seiryu clan right now.
We may have the money, but that hasn't solved our lack of a candidate. Certainly a necessary element of the plan.
Didn't Chairman Hoshino say he'd take care of it? Don't worry. He's the kind of guy who keeps his word. If we give him the cash, he'll do the rest.
If you say so. Safe travels, then.
Hey, don't encourage him to do such dangerous things. Kasuga, if you really are leaving, we're coming with you.
Sounds good to me. I've never been to Osaka.
Guys, I'm not going there as a tourist. I'm going straight into the Lion's Den. Assuming Adachi-san is right and that's where the Yomi home base is. You guys don't need to get involved. This is personal for me.
Come on, man. After all we've been through, aren't we friends?
Of course. I'm saying this because we're friends. If something happens to me out there, you gotta finish what we started.
Still sounds like a load of crap to me.
Well, think what you want. But we got the 3 million yen, and I'm taking it to Hoshino. I'll see all of you around.
Hey, I'm in good shape.
Yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you for your concern, Song-Hui.
Yo, what'd she say?
Oh, nothing. She just asked for an update on the situation. That's all.
Yeah? Bet it feels pretty good knowing a babe like her's looking out for you.
I'm blessed to serve one such as she. The Jungi-han I served before was quite the blessing as well. If I'm to talk about Jungi-han, I'll need to provide some backstory.
Cool with me. I got plenty of time.
Ha! Then I hope you're prepared to sit for a while.
Sure, I'm all ears.
My father was one of the stray Jingwon Mafia I mentioned earlier. And to speak further, he was a lowly thug left behind in a foreign land. In my youth, I was relentlessly beaten by my father, in addition to being neglected by those around me. Home, school. No place provided me with even the slightest bit of sanctuary. Thinking back on it, I'm sure I was a rather dissolute child.
Well, you're not alone in feeling like you got no place to go. Plenty of people feel that way, even civilians.
Feelings of isolation are really that common, huh? Not sure if I should be comforted or not.
Sorry, didn't derail the story, did I?
The real Jungi-han had also been raised in a poor and neglected environment like me. But rumors of his strength, intelligence, and ambition started to swirl. And as the men from my father's generation grew older, Jungi-han started gaining more and more power. In fact, it was thanks to him that the stray Jingon found any success in Kamurocho at all. While the Tojo clan was being choked by anti-violence laws, the Jingon Mafia were steadily gaining a sense of existence.
Sounds like he must have been pretty cool.
Yes, but my father, who underestimated him as some young greenhorn, failed to prove his worth and was left trying to catch up. A staunch alcoholic, he used what drunken wit he had to try to get close to the young leader. So, eventually he worked out a plan. He would mold his own son's face, set him up as a body double, and offer him as tribute.
What?
I was drugged by my father, and this was done to me while I slept.
No way. He did all that just to impress the boss?
When he was presented with a body double, even the real Jungi-han could only force a smile. But he saw what had gone into my face, and he respected the effort. So he said it was a fair offer, and took me under his wing.
And what's your father doing now?
He's long since passed away. His health was already in steady decline, and for what it's worth, I'm sure he wasn't opposed to dying at the bottom of a bottle.
That's a shame. Guess you two weren't super close then.
Jungi-han kept me at his side as much as possible so that I might learn his mannerisms. Strangely enough, it was the only place that finally felt like home. I was very much his servant, and he was very much my master. But in spite of that, we shared a lot of laughs in the long time we spent together. A lot of drinks as well. And though I was his double, it would be rude of me to say that we came to resemble twins.
So the way you're talking right now, that's something Jungi-han taught you?
The real Jungi-han had a way with words I never will. And when he walked into a room, you knew it. Try as I might, I would never reach his level.
Hearing you say all that makes me even more curious.
About what, may I ask?
You know what? I've always thought you were a pretty sharp dresser.
That's kind of you to say.
But you said the real Jungi-han was even more refined or whatever. So does that mean he was as stylish as you?
He was indeed quite stylish. His fashion sense had a great influence on mine.
Oh yeah? Looks that could kill and close the match, huh?
You take interest in the most unexpected things.
Yeah, that's how I roll. But you know, despite me saying sorry, there's still one thing I gotta ask.
And that is?
Isn't it about time you told me your real name?
Ah,
Still a no, huh?
ha. Just a little taken aback is all. I have no problem telling you. When I was first brought into this world, I was given the name Yeonsu Kim.
Yeonsu Kim.
I have no intention of returning to that name. Not when the real Jungi-han has already passed away.
The real one took a bullet to the head, yeah?
Correct. There was conflict with a group from Hiroshima that had made its way into Tokyo. As far as I'm concerned, the Jingon Mafia died along with him. At the time, I was given the role of staring down the other hostile groups within Kamurocho as Jungi-han. But with their real boss dead, the remaining Jingon Mafia in Kamurocho were nothing but paper tigers. Should our enemies have discovered this, we would have been ousted and probably killed.
If it were me, I probably would have gotten the hell out of Kamurocho. Left everything behind.
Yes, that's precisely what I did. The few remaining members at my side did the same. But seeing as the Jingon Mafia was all I'd ever had, I had no place to go. No refuge where I might reconvene with my allies. I was lost and alone in the world. Like a man dying of thirst in the desert, surrounded by a hungry pack of wolves.
Sounds like you had it rough.
I found a faint glimmer of hope in the Korean community here in Japan. But even they refused to accept me, as I was nothing but a criminal to them. Thinking on it now, I should have expected as much from those living an honest life. But still, in my confusion and dismay, I challenged them, asking why they would abandon one of their own.
I get that.
It was enough to make them call the police. And I'm sure that under normal circumstances, I would have been taken away. However...
Huh? Come on, man. Don't just leave me hanging.
The police officers were imposters, and instead of being incarcerated, I was brought to my new home, Yokohama Ijincho.
So those fake officers, were they?
Members of the Komijul, sent to retain me under the orders of Samui. It turned out that the Komijo was a place that many former Jingon members had drifted to. Those that distanced themselves from Kamurocho slowly but surely found their way there.
Oh yeah. Songhui did mention something about the Komi Jewel having roots in the Jingon Mafia.
Indeed. Komijul is essentially a safe haven for refugees. That's why they tend to keep quiet and remain exceedingly closed off. For many years, they spied on the Jingon Mafia in Kamurocho from a distance, keeping close watch on their movements. I was fortunately saved by the hand that the Komijul had extended to me. Moreover, Songhui told me what had happened to the real Jungi Han. That he had been shot in the head by an assassin hired by the Hiroshima Yakuza, taken by surprise from the shadows.
An assassin? So what'd you guys do? You kill him?
No. By the time I'd learned of his existence, he was already dead. I wasn't even given the chance for revenge. I spent many of the following days in despair. But even though I was in such a hollow state, Songhui patiently waited for my recovery. She was more like family to me than my abusive father could have ever hoped to be. A sister to replace the brother I had found in Jungi Han. Frankly, nothing would hurt me more than to betray her expectations and disappoint her. And Kasuga-san, as for you and me... I'm wondering what sort of boss you will be. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do.
I don't remember ever becoming your boss. Right now, I think drinking buddy is a better term, don't you?
I see. Then I will do my best to live up to that title.
Oh, guess that's finally it for introductions. He sure is shy, that young Soo Kim. Yo, Sachan.
Oh, Ichiban. Perfect timing. Listen to this.
What's up? Oh, is it about Nanoha?
Yeah. I worked up the courage to call her and asked if she'd been caught up with any bad guys lately.
And how'd that go?
Well...
Not good, huh? Gotta say, I wouldn't have started with the bad guys line.
I just couldn't find the right thing to say.
Yeah, I know it's hard. But all that matters is getting Nanoha away from that dirtbag.
I don't know. We'd been apart for so many years, I was probably way out of line to tell her to break up with her boyfriend. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't even take my calls if she knew I've been checking up on her this entire time. But at least she still doesn't realize I know about her being employed at a soapland. She can never find out, not ever. I'll pretend not to know for the rest of our lives if I have to. But how do I help her without letting on what I know? If I do nothing, Katsuragawa might bankrupt her and she'll end up right back at the soapland. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I'm freaking out!
Well, I guess I'll just have to use my ace in the hole.
Huh? You've had a plan this whole time?
I sure do. You introduce Nanoha to a guy who's better than her boyfriend. Then she'll drop that loser like a rock.
No way. Her heart is a complete mystery. I mean, we're talking about a woman who fell in love with Katsuragawa.
Hear me out. You bring in a shining stud that makes all the other dudes look like ass. I bet he'll catch her eye.
Okay, but you're forgetting I don't know any guys like that. Where do I find a stud?
Come on. I'm sure he's closer than you think.
Where?
You're looking at him.
You think you're the dreamy type, Ichiban? That's even funnier than your hair.
I wasn't joking.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Whew. If it helps, I definitely feel more cheerful about this now.
Good shit then.
Okay, what else can we do? There has to be something.
Well, if you really don't think we can convince Nanoha to dump him, I don't know. Wait, we've been looking at this all wrong. We need to get Katsuragawa to stay away from Nanoha, not the other way around.
How are you gonna do that? Beat him up and run him out of town?
If he were the kind of guy to give up just like that, sure. But he probably isn't. Especially now that he knows Nanoha's willing to be his piggy bank. If we screw this up, he might even take her with him when he bails.
I can't let that happen.
I think what we gotta do is crush his pride. Like, get Nanoha to break up with him without shedding a single tear. As if he's nothing to her.
And how do we do that?
It's so obvious, Sachan. Haven't you caught on yet?
To what?
You pretend to be Nanoha and break up with him. Use the twin angle to your advantage. Yeah. March in and tell Katsuragawa you never want to see him again. I'll stand there and look intimidating while you give him the boot. That'll have him running.
I see. That might actually work.
Let's do it. All we need is to find out where Katsuragawa's hanging out. Your employees could probably do that, right?
No problem. I'll tell the girls to start looking for him right away.
Great. We wait for their word, and we move in for the kill. It'll go fine. I'll be right there with you to make sure he doesn't give you trouble.
It's a date. Good thinking today, Ichiban. I'll go tell the girls to start asking around.
She and her sister are a handful. And it feels like we're finally gonna wrap this up.
I was wondering if anyone would show up. I didn't expect it to be you. Aren't you busy? Should you really be drinking right now?
I'll drink whenever the hell I want to drink, Zhao. And don't forget, I was a regular at this place before you were.
Oh, is that how you want to play it? Okay, well, if we're doing that, then who's the newcomer in Ijincho, Kasuga? You or me?
Fair point.
Man, this whole schooling you as your senpai thing sure is embarrassing.
Yeah, you win.
Anyway, sit down, yeah?
You know, when we're out drinking like this, it's hard to imagine you ever being the leader of a gang.
Everyone's the same once you strip off the mask they put on for work. Rich, poor, leader, follower, whatever. You never know what people are really like.
Right. You can't judge someone just by looks alone. The important part is what's on the inside.
You catch on fast, Kasuga-kun.
Nah, I'm just stating the obvious, man.
Gotta look at someone's character to see whether they'd be a good leader or not. All jokes aside, there's this whole idea of being next in line just because you're the boss's son. No logic in it, but it's always there.
Yeah, can't choose who your parents are. Still, wasn't there some way you could have given up the throne? Not everybody's cut out to run a gang. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm sure somebody else would have stepped up if you had stepped down. Most important thing in any group is the leader being a good fit.
I don't know if I was a good fit or not, but I was a pretty sharp kid back then. If I put my mind to it, I could excel at pretty much anything. Sports, school, all that shit. And I don't remember losing any fights either. I was a lot craftier than the other kids.
Sounds like you were pretty talented.
I just didn't give a flying fuck, that's all. Guess that's what happens when you're good at everything.
Real modest, aren't you?
Up until I swapped places with my old man, we were always fighting with our rivals in Chinatown. But after their boss, Lau Ka Long, bit the big one, the Ijin 3 got their stalemate going.
Your rivals from Chinatown. Are you talking about the Snake Flower Triad? They were pretty crazy.
They pulled out of Japan a long time ago. There's not many of them left.
Oh, so you became the leader of the Yokohama Liumang after the Snake Flower Triad was out of the picture.
Just about. Had to have been almost 10 years ago. Honestly, the whole thing was a pain in the ass. Ogi Kubo let me in on the whole counterfeit bills thing right away. Also told me about how the stalemate in Ijincho was rigged from the start.
Man, still can't hardly believe that.
The only people in the Liumang that knew about that were my dad and the old guard. The new boys kept saying they wanted to move in and take over, but it was always up to me to keep them on their leashes. Then it was no ambition this and weak-ass bitch that. Sounds like a fun job, eh?
Haven't seen this side of you before, Zhao. You're really starting to open up and let loose. How many have you had?
It's not like I gotta worry about the gang anymore, so I'll get as drunk as I damn well please. Is that a problem?
Hell no, it's not. I was just saying, it's been fun.
Fun, huh? Well, maybe I have shown too much of my hand. If I was still the boss, my bodyguards would have stopped me by now.
Oh, really? I hope I didn't kill your buzz.
Nah, I know you're the kind of guy that just says whatever pops into his head. I'm gonna go sober up.
Yeah, sure. Let's get another drink when you're up for it.
Sounds good. Same goes for you, all right?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yo, Adachi-san.
Hey, Kasaga. Thanks for being there during the settlement the other day.
Not a problem. Think of the story we can tell now. You playing a rich guy and me playing your secretary.
I thought it suited us perfectly, to tell the truth. Now how about I buy you a meal? Beef bowl sound good?
Hell yeah! Let's go to Akuhushimaru. What should I get? The new special looks good, but there's also the old standby.
Come on, when someone's treating you, you gotta go with just a standard beef bowl.
Aw, man, really? Well, at least let me get a large. Huh? Adachi-san, isn't that... Takashi? Hey, Taka...
Back down, dumbass! If he sees me like this, he's gonna know I'm not rich.
Right. Didn't think about that.
Not to mention, a rich philanthropist and his secretary eating at a dingy little beef bowl joint looks pretty weird. Let's get out of here before Takashi sees us.
What about the beef bowl?
Next time. Hey, that's the con man.
Hasegawa.
Okay, even though it was a bust, I still think that guy Yamada is a total sucker. We gotta try again. Okay, come on. Just keep the pen pal thing with him going for now, okay?
Okay.
Come on. We'll come up with a better plan. One that'll make us really rich.
You think the two of them could be working together?
Hey, what's going on here, Takashi?
Yamada-san?
What are you guys doing here? Oh, we're getting beef bowls, 'cause we're broke. Now tell us what you're doing here.
You're broke?
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Yamada Moneybags was fake. I made it all up. I'm just a jobless old fart named Adachi.
Surprise. Adachi-san was just pretending to be a high roller, so Takashi wouldn't feel bad taking his money.
And this is your way of showing thanks? By taking everything I've got?
Takashi, if I were you, I'd start apologizing. Adachi-san's not the only one getting pissed off right now.
We're the ones who need an apology. You've been lying about all this money of yours, and now it turns out you're just some bum.
You stay out of this.
No, I'm gonna fuck you up now. Messing with us and stirring up a bunch of shit? You got it coming, man.
Screw this. Time for me to kick your ass. Let's go out front. Come on, show me what you got.
I'm up!
You're in it now.
Going in! Right through the heart!
I got this. Cool. Come on now. I'm going presidential on your ass. He did it.
Let's go!
The enemy. God damn.
I'm so sorry.
Do you have any idea what it's been like to be me these past 20 years?
Hey, Kosuke,
Takashi-kun?
I just found this letter in my room. What's this about scraping a bumper and an out-of-court settlement? I don't remember anything about this.
Crap. I can explain.
Dude, did you pretend to be me to squeeze some money out of Yamada-san?
I'm really, really sorry, man.
Hang on a sec, you two. Let's get this cleared up.
Yeah, seriously. This letter is the one I sent to Takashi, to set a date for the settlement.
And you sent it to Takashi Kasumi, that's me.
Are you serious right now?
Then who's this?
He's my roommate, Kosuke. There was a time when we were both good students striving to become lawyers. Then Kosuke gave up on having a real career and started hanging out with some losers. My guess is they pressured him into impersonating me. He's not the type to stand up to people. Guess he would have made a crap lawyer.
Look, all I did was mention that my roommate had some sweet-ass deal where rich guy sends him money every month. Hasegawa-san's the one who came up with the scam idea. I'm really sorry.
I'd like to apologize as well, Yamada-san. Although, I guess I should just call you Detective Adachi.
What? How did you know who I was?
I've known for a while. Nobody else would have cared about me enough to support me all this time. But you fought for my father's innocence until the very end.
You know about that?
Yes. Even back then, I knew about it.
Well, then let me say now what I should have said then. I'm sorry I didn't save your dad, Takashi.
Please, don't apologize. You've already helped me make sure that nobody else will suffer like my father did. Because I passed the bar exam.
You what?
Really? You kicked that exam's ass?
I did. They announced the results yesterday.
Hot damn! That's great, Takashi! Really, really great!
I owe it all to you. All your help over the years really made a difference.
Now, well, if you ask me, it was worth every yen.
But I don't want to keep leaning on you, so I ask that you let your most recent gift be the last.
Sure, you don't gotta ask me twice. Even though, this time next month I might be a little sad not to help you.
Oh, then just keep sending it. After all, I could argue that you legally obligated yourself to keep doing it once you started.
What?
It's just kidding, that's not real. And I should know. I'm a lawyer.
Looks like Takashi-kun pulled a fast one on you, Adachi-san.
Yeah, just for a second there.
Nice to see a kid achieve something so big. I mean, that's some real leveling up, becoming a lawyer.
Yeah, God, Takashi must have worked his ass off. Ah, he's a good kid, all right.
Adachi-san, I think your kindness is what taught him to be good.
I don't know. Even without my money, I'm sure he would have made his dreams come true one way or another. That's just the kind of guy he is. You know, he'll be a great lawyer. He'll help a lot of people.
I think you're right about that.
Thanks for everything, Kasuga.
Come on, don't get all sentimental on me.
I mean, it's just that, you know, we've gone through some shit together, you know? But in the end, it's, you know, good times. I'm glad we met each other. I really am.
What a coincidence. I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Nice that the feeling's mutual. How about we celebrate Takashi passing the test with a drink?
Yeah, to great future lawyers and great former detectives.
Cheers!
Cheers! You drinking, Namba?
Oh, Ichiban. I'm glad you're here. We need to talk.
We do? Is it something serious?
Look, I need to tell you I'm sorry. For lying.
You mean about chasing the counterfeit bill?
Yeah. Think you can forgive me?
Come on, you know we're past that. What's important is your brother got released. All's well that ends well, right? That said, maybe now's a good time to tell me if there's any other holes in your story. You really were a nurse at some point, right?
Well, of course I was a nurse. How else could I have brought you back from the brink of death?
Good point. Then, what about the part where you sold hospital meds? Didn't you say that's how you got your nursing license revoked?
Well, that's the short version, but it's more complicated, actually.
What do you mean?
You'll be the first person I've ever told this to, so I hope you plan on sitting for a while.
Yeah, man, I'm all ears.
Back in elementary school, I read about Florence Nightingale. That's when I knew I was meant to be a nurse. Helping the sick, people being grateful for it, it's all I ever wanted in life. But when I finally put on my scrubs, it was different. Endless late shifts, difficult patients, never a word of thanks. Eventually, I just stopped caring. Little by little, I started cutting corners any way I could. I'd pretend not to hear the intercom, and instead, I'd go doze off somewhere. By the time I hit 40, I had no idea why I ever went into the field. But then one day, this new girl named Mizue showed up. And in her introduction, she brought up who else but Nightingale.
Just like you, huh?
We had the same role model, but she still had her spirit. She would rush toward every patient in the ward, never missed a beat. On top of that, she always had the sweetest smile.
So, you had a thing for her.
Are you kidding me? She was 23 and a looker, and I was just a middle-aged loser.
So what? You totally look younger than you are.
You think so?
For sure. If you told me you were in your 20s, or hell, your teens, I'd believe it.
God damn it, Ichiban.
Sorry.
That was a good one, though. You got me.
Anyway, back to Mizue-chan. What happened?
No, that's right. Whenever I saw her working, I could feel my old self coming back. That young version of me, who used to give it his all.
Well, that's a good sign.
If only I had half her stamina and wasn't twice her age. Anyway, one night I was a little sleepier than usual, so I went out to the back lawn, thinking maybe I could sneak in a nap. And suddenly, I heard a noise from behind. I turned around to find the storeroom we keep the medicine in wide open. and Mizue-chan was walking out alone.
Was she restocking? I mean, if you were slacking off, she was probably having to bust her ass.
Well, that's the thing. In our hospital, only the pharmacists have access to the storeroom. Mizue-chan and I were just nurses. We didn't even need to go in there.
Then what was she doing?
Well, at the time, there was a rumor floating around the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Medicine would keep disappearing. The list never matched the inventory. According to the rumors, someone was swiping medicine and selling it. Illegally.
No way. And that was Mizue-chan?
It was. As my eyes adjusted, I could clearly see her arms were full of medicine boxes.
But why would she need to sell medicine?
From what I heard, her parents were under a mountain of debt. So, to lighten some of their load, Mizue-chan was paying everything she could. But a single nurse's salary wouldn't get them out of the hole. No way.
So she was stealing the meds to do it?
Yep. And I was the sole eyewitness. Thing is, Mizue-chan never noticed me there. Now, if it was you, Ichiban, what would you have done?
Well, calling her out on it would seem to be the right thing to do. But I guess she wasn't stealing it just to be a criminal, huh?
Not in the slightest. She was only doing it for her family. I mean, yeah, she was breaking the law, but she wasn't trying to hurt anyone.
Plus, getting caught would cost her her job. Then the debt would only have gotten worse. With all that in mind, I'd say it's a pretty tough call to make.
Huh. Now you're on the same page I was. Anyway, in the end, all I could do was watch her walk away without saying a word. If there ever was a criminal who deserved a free pass, it was Mizue-chan. That was what I thought at the time. So I turned a blind eye.
And what happened after that?
It wasn't long before Mizue-chan's actions caught up with her. The hospital director decided to get the police involved and started gathering evidence.
He waited that long to take action?
Well, he was trying to resolve it internally, being that the hospital's reputation was at stake. I guess he got sick of having a thief under his nose, so he escalated it to the next logical step.
But if the cops caught Mizue-chan stealing, that'd be bad news.
She'd have a police record, and her name in all the papers. To be honest, it was only a matter of time. She had her whole life ahead of her. How could that happen to someone so young? And on the other hand, you've got me. A guy who totally burned out. A guy who couldn't be further from Florence Nightingale. Better a saint like Mizue-chan stay at the hospital than a sack of shit like me, wouldn't you say?
Namba? Are you telling me you...
Yeah. I went up and confessed to the whole thing. Stealing, selling, and all.
And that's how you lost your nursing license?
Yep. Oh, and I got fired too. Naturally.
Man, you went all out for that girl. Did she ever contact you after that? Even a call or a letter?
Not that I'm aware. In a matter of hours, I was out of a job and out on the streets.
You regret any of it?
Well, my brother disappeared not long after, so even if I didn't get canned, I would have quit on my own anyway. So, no, to answer your question. Though I do have to admit, I would like to see Mizue-chan off when she goes overseas.
She's going overseas?
Yeah. She always dreamed of running off to some developing country where they really need medical professionals.
She took that Nightingale shit seriously.
Our hospital had an international dispatch program, available to staff nurses with at least 3 years tenure. This year would be Mizue-chan's third, and I know she would take advantage of it.
Well, in that case, why not go say farewell?
If only I could. For starters, I don't even know when she leaves.
Maybe if you ask one of your old nurse buddies, they'll tell you.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm the little rat who stole the medicine, if you forgot that detail. They want nothing to do with me.
Well, hello, boys. Don't worry, the life of the party's here. Care to bring me up to speed?
Oh, Sachan. Wait, are you drunk?
I think you're drunk. Now, fill me in, if you please.
Oh, Namba here was going off on one of his hobo horror stories again.
Hobo horror horror stories?
Well, no house means no toilet, right? Care to guess what he had to do when he had the shits?
Yeah, I'd rather not. And here I was, thinking I'd get actual substance out of two grown men instead of literal crap.
Thanks for covering for me.
I got you, man.
I don't mind if we let Sayoko know at some point, but preferably not when she's plastered.
Yeah, no kidding.